You're watching Reason and Theology, a show dedicated to evangelizing non-Catholics and helping Catholics better understand their faith.
For several years, some promoters of the Society of St. Pius X have used the words of a demon named Lucifer from the Exorcism of Anneliese Michel to promote the cause of Marcel Lefebvre, the Society's founder. Take a look at the following clip.
A few years back, Taylor Marshall, a friend of mine, shout out Taylor, he did a episode on the Exorcism of Anneliese Michel. And he went through some of the more important or salient points from the exorcism itself.
The thing about this, when you read the transcript in English, is this is a young Bavarian girl, and she seems to know a lot about the ecclesiological landscape of 1976. For example, the priest is asking her questions about Archbishop Lefebvre, right, who had started the sspx, Society of St. Pius X, just 5 years before in Switzerland, right? I mean, he was known, but he wasn't well known, so he asked her about that. We'll get to that, what the demons say about Archbishop Lefebvre. And then Father Renz, the exorcist, says, what about Archbishop Lefebvre, the founder of the sspx? And Lucifer replies, ha, that one, but they don't believe in him. What a pity.
So a couple things stand out. First, babyface Taylor Marshall. Haven't seen that in a while. But secondly, it was the fact that the devil warned this priest that they should be listening to Marcel Lefebvre. Now, again, this might seem strange. I mean, if the devil's going to warn you about something, isn't the devil a liar? Well, when the devil is under obedience to Christ, and the exorcist is a priest, and he's acting in that role, he tells the truth. Again, we see this in Scripture. So the devil basically mocking or laughing and saying, you should be listening to this guy, it tells you something. It says that the devil knows that you should be listening to Marcel Lefebvre. The devil knows that you should be listening to Marcel Lefebvre.
The claim here is that demons have to speak the truth when compelled by an exorcist. In this present case with Anneliese Michel, the demon lamented to the exorcist that people did not believe Lefebvre. Why would the demon lament this? Kennedy Hall interprets the demon as meaning that, quote, the devil knows that you should be listening to Marcel Lefebvre, end quote.
The devil knows that you should be listening to Marcel Lefebvre.
This interpretation is also shared by several internet blogs. However, let's read the actual transcript and a commentary from the exorcist who published it. This is from the work Anneliese Michel, A True Story of a Case of Demonic Possession, Germany, 1976, by Father Lawrence LeBlanc. Father Lawrence quotes from the diary of Anneliese in her entry on January 23, 1976 as follows. Father Renz says, you are responsible for heresies, for example those of Kung. Lucifer, the demon, replied, yes, and we have still more. Father Renz asked, and Bishop Lefebvre? And the demon replied, ha, that one, but they do not believe in him. What a pity. Father Renz asks, who says what a pity? Lucifer answers, not I. Note the context here. The exorcist is talking about heresies and mentions Lefebvre in that context. Father Lawrence LeBlanc noted the following on this matter. The words which lament that more people do not follow the schismatic Bishop Lefebvre should be looked at carefully. They, that is demons, try to lead the faithful astray through liberal theologians as well as traditional theologians. Bishop Marcel Lefebvre, who was considered a traditionalist, was excommunicated for disobedience, not theological error. The goal of the demons is always to draw the faithful away from the teachings of the church and from obedience to the church. End quote. In other words, the demons claimed the exact opposite of what Kennedy Hall and others have said about this text. Lefebvre, just like Hans Kung, was a product of the demons' work to disrupt the life of the church. Father Lawrence picked up on this in his commentary. This means that some traditionalists are not only misrepresenting the words of demons, but are then appealing to the exact opposite thing that the demons claimed while allegedly speaking the truth under compulsion. Was this due to them not verifying the quote in its original source? Did they merely read a blog post that briefly quoted the words of the demon and then put their own spin on it? Let's assume for the moment that they verified their sources and simply disagree with Father Lawrence's interpretation. It is curious that when the demon is asked who said it was a pity that Lefebvre wasn't followed, the demon said, "Not I." If the interpretation adopted by Kennedy Hall is true, then the demon is truthfully saying that it is not a pity that people didn't listen to Lefebvre. So which one is it? Was it a pity that the church didn't listen to Lefebvre, or was it not a pity as the demon said? Regardless of whose interpretation is adopted, that of Father Lawrence or Kennedy or Taylor, the demon seems to contradict itself, which shows it shouldn't be trusted in the first place. However, there is a larger theological question that we must ask. Is it true that demons must speak the truth when under compulsion by a priest? And should one take the word of a demon named Lucifer? Theological consensus on this question is not uniform, and the witness of exorcists over the centuries shows a variety of opinions. Various exorcisms show that demons still resist telling the truth. Father Gabriel Amorth relates how demons will give silly answers at times. In the case of this particular exorcism with Anneliese Michel, they can be seen promoting lies, even while under compulsion. Another point is that these same demons are compelled to leave the possessed person, and yet they resist this command. This is why Catholic exorcisms are not immediate and often require many sessions. So on what basis does one hold the opinion that demons are unable to resist telling the truth under compulsion, but can resist being expelled under the same compulsion? The Church has set strict norms when it comes to seeking information during an exorcism, and these norms should be followed to the letter. A more prudent response, then, would be to carefully sift through what demons state whenever they speak, and only in relevance to what the norms permit. Otherwise, the exorcist can go off the rails and run headlong into a great many errors, including that of necromancy. In conclusion, I'd simply like to ask, why do some promoters of the Society of St. Pius X misinterpret the words of demons and then use the allegedly reliable testimony of demons to promote their cause? And if they were consistent in their belief that demons tell the truth under compulsion, why don't they believe the demon named Lucifer when it was revealed that Marcel Lefebvre, like Hans Kung, was a product of their divisive work? For clarity, I am not saying that the demons or Father Lawrence were right or wrong about their views on Lefebvre. One's personal view of Lefebvre should be determined by facts, not the words of demons or the commentary of a priest on the words of demons. But for those who frequent sspx chapels and believe that demons named Lucifer always tell the truth when under compulsion, why don't they believe Lucifer here? More importantly, should they really put stock into the words of lying demons named Lucifer anyway? Thank you for watching, and if you have found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also check me out at patreon.com/Reason and Theology if you want to support me. God bless. Oh wait, before you go, I would really appreciate it if you would consider supporting this channel. This is my primary means to provide for my family, and it also helps me to produce content like this video. If you would like to support me, become a patron by visiting patreon.com/Reason and Theology. You'll also get access to extra exclusive content when you become a patron. Lastly, hit that like button and the subscribe button, and be sure to leave a comment down below. God bless.